året. Redwood Pharma ska du presentera. Välkommen, varsågod.
Tack så mycket. Tack. Hör ni mig? Ja, funkar det? Jättebra. Jag tänkte faktiskt dra den här presentationen på engelska på grund av att vi har internationella bolag som följer oss. Så jag ber om ursäkt. Ni är viktiga här, alla våra ägare och möjliga ägare i Sverige. Men för nätet och sån här presentationstillfälle ger oss möjligheten att uppdatera våra bolag som vi har diskussioner med just nu. So, this 30th of January, I want to thank Aktiedagen for hosting this event. I want to welcome everybody who is following us on the internet today. You can find more information about our company on our website, www.redwoodpharma.com. And with that, I'd like to say hello. The last 12 months have been marked by accomplishments, I should say. We have been focusing on the development of our dry eye technology or dry eye medicine. We received a US patent for the IntelliGel platform, which is a vehicle for delivering the dry eye technology. We have begun and successfully completed toxicology studies, as well as started production of RP101, our dry eye medicine that will be entering into clinical trials, phase 2, this year, at the beginning of this year here. So we're looking to continue delivering according to plan, I should say. So where is the value in Redwood Pharma? Well, there are several areas. One is the hydrogel drug delivery platform we call IntelliGel, that's used for multiple ophthalmic indications, that can be used for that. We have rights to phase 2 clinical data from the US in dry eye disease in postmenopausal women with demonstrated safety and efficacy. This is a very strong asset in the company. Then we have an experienced team that has successfully founded companies before and done as exits for investors. And we have attractive licensing, or I should say partnering opportunities with our novel dry eye therapy, RP101, for the treatment of dry eye disease. We have a unique biological mechanism that we're focused on, a target patient population of postmenopausal women. And then we have the IntelliGel drug delivery system, which is able to control the release of active substances to the front of the eye, and thus perhaps improving existing drugs on the market or new drugs to come. The company itself was established in February of 2012 in Stockholm. We did an IPO in the middle of last year, and we're traded on Aktiedagen. A lot of information, financial information, videos in Swedish as well are there for you to look at. And our focus is on the development of new ophthalmic medicines, where our lead product is a candidate to treat chronic dry eye disease. We have a technology, a platform, as I said earlier, the IntelliGel hydrogel drug delivery system. The company's core expertise is in early clinical development, and we use the assistance of external experts in production quality and regulatory matters. Okay, now I'd like to tell you a little bit about our program, dry eye disease, our product, IntelliGel, what the commercial promises are for the company. Dry eye disease is a large market, roughly $2.7 billion in 2022. Dry eye is the 4th largest segment of medicines in ophthalmology after bacterial conjunctivitis, age-related macular degeneration, as our prior speaker was talking about, and glaucoma. And the symptoms of dry eye are redness, perhaps dry feeling, pain, itching, etc. And often it manifests itself in a reduced quality of life, primarily for postmenopausal women. What we see is that with an increasing age, with a change in hormonal imbalances, we see a correlation with the incidence of dry eye. And women are suffering without any help today, specifically with moderate to severe dry eye. The US FDA considers this an area of large unmet need. And where there's help, or where there's need, they need help. And today's treatments are basically saline solutions that you can buy in the pharmacy, punctal plugs, which try to keep the tear film in the front of the eye, cyclosporin, which is sold as Restasis or Icaravis. Restasis is made by Allergan in the US, and Icaravis is made by Santen and sold here in Europe. Here we have significant side effects with it, and it helps only about 10% of the dry eye population. Lastly, and not on this slide, is Shire's new Xiidra technology or medicine that came out on the market last year in the US. Dry eye has many different causes. They're not just one type of dry eye. And therefore, there is not just one solution, one therapeutic solution for it. It's a multifactorial syndrome. And the incidence increases as you become older. If you're in a dry or warm environment, you feel it. And many times it's an inflammatory response, as in Sjögren's syndrome. But as I said earlier, what we see now is that hormonal changes in people as they grow older change the imbalances of the tear film, and thus we see a correlation to dry eye. And this is what we are working with Redwood Pharma, is trying to restore the natural tear film with our therapy. The demographics are huge. There are over 100 million sufferers globally, 6 million women and 3 million men in the US with chronic dry eye disease that don't have an adequate therapy today. And of those 6 million women, there are 3.4 that suffer that are postmenopausal. So in the graphs below, we see that there are twice as many women as men that suffer. And even though there are a lot of people that have milder forms that have therapy from saline solution, there's a large underserved segment of those with moderate to severe dry eye. And that's who we're focusing on, postmenopausal women that are underserved today. Let me talk to you now about RP101, our new dry eye therapy. It's our first drug candidate. And it's a combination of two components. One is a hormone. The active substance is an analog of a well-known hormone that's already used in 20 other products globally. So the safety profile is already appreciated. The regulatory profile is, the regulatory agencies, I should say, have accepted it. And what we have then is rights to data that show in the US that the active substance has already shown efficacy and safety in 2 phase 2 trials. This is an incredible advantage that we have in development. We combine it with IntelliGel that controls the release of the active substance on the front of the eye. It's been tested and proven non-irritating in vitro, and we successfully demonstrated in toxicology testing recently that there are no significant issues with the platform. We have the exclusive license for the use within ophthalmology. Now a little bit about the RP101, our highlights. As I said, a huge advantage that we have is the data to 2 prior clinical trials in the US. What this means is that the regulatory risks are much lower. The FDA already has seen this data. They understand the potential of the product and the safety around the active substance. We at Redwood Pharma are able then to take advantage of this existing data to hone in on the target patient population, have a very tight clinical protocol, save money, and come through development faster and come to market faster. This active substance was formulated in a formulation that was tested 4 times a day in 138 women. Results demonstrated both significance in terms of efficacy and safety in both objective signs and symptoms in moderate to severe dry eye disease. And so we have a very good safety profile around it. Our idea now is to make an even better formulation with IntelliGel to reduce the number of drops from 4 a day down to 2 or 1. This will help improve compliance, meaning that patients will remember to take if they took 1 drop a day or 2 drops a day. It'll be a preservative-free solution, which is in vogue right now with the FDA, trying to get away from preservatives that may have some unwarranted or unwanted side effects. And we're going to enter into our phase 2 clinical trial with a multi-dose container. All this to help develop a therapeutic that is in need and can be used with high convenience. The idea, the mechanism behind our product is to put a hormone on the front of the eye to trigger the natural production of the tear film. There's no other technology or medicine in development or on the market today that does exactly this. By restoring the tear film through production of components, we can increase the tear film with the components of the lipid layer, the aqueous layer, and the mucin layer. And here are some highlights of the 2 prior phase 2 clinical trials. On the left, you see what's called AST, or anesthetized Schirmer test. This is a measurement of the quantity of tear film in the eye. Over a 12-week dosing period, we saw that the amount of tear film produced increased. If you look at the red line, it shows objectively that the quantity of tear fluid increases. On the right, we see that the foreign body sensation, or this feeling of having grit or a piece of sand in your eye, that it decreased along those 12 weeks. So what a nice confirmation here. On the left, we see that we produce tear film, and on the right, we see that we reduce symptoms. Here we demonstrate that we can help patients. And we do this with the help of the IntelliGel drug delivery system. It's a patented supramolecular drug delivery system based on poloxamers. Poloxamers are polymers that have been used in other applications, but the novelty, the ingenious novelty of this technology is to be able to reduce the amount of poloxamers so you have much more water. Basically, it's an hydrogel, and we have an exclusive license to use it. It's like water at room temperature, but when you apply the drop on the front of the eye, the heat of the eye causes it to gel. This gelation then is what can help slow down the release of the active substance. This means that we can increase bioavailability of active substances on the front of the eye. We can sustain controlled release. It's odor-free. It's clear, it's transparent, and it's also fully reversible, which means that if you take the gel into a warmer environment and it gels, and then you take it back into a colder environment, it releases. So it's non-irritating, non-allergenic, and it's already sold in or manufactured in dermatological products in the US and in China, but it's the first time it's going to be used in the eye. So here is a little bit of a picture of how it behaves. On the picture on the right-hand side and the top picture, you see at room temperature it behaves like water. But when it comes into a warmer environment, you see that the picture below, it becomes rigid. And that rigidness is like a mechanical wall or a mechanical matrix that prevents the active substance from just quickly leaving. And the graph below demonstrates this ability. It shows that the diffusion of our active substance across a membrane, if we look at just a PBS or a phosphate buffer solution with the active substance and compared to our gel, we see that we can reduce the diffusion of the active substance. Again, here is evidence to its potential. So we see that this can be used to create new medicines for the eye, and it could also be used as an OTC product. That is a product that is without an active substance that competes with perhaps just normal saline solutions that are sold in the pharmacy. Regarding intellectual property, the hydrogel platform, which is owned by Broda, it has a US patent and a Japanese patent. It has a Chinese and EU patent pending. The RP101, our active substance, is not patentable itself, but as we will be the first and only product of this kind coming to market, we will have generic protection. So we will have data exclusivity for about 10 to 11 years in the larger EU markets, as well as 3 to 5 years in the US. And we see new patent opportunities with RP1, as well as with using IntelliGel to make new or develop new products in eye diseases where there are large needs. Let me talk about the commercial potential of RP101 for dry eye, and it gives you an idea of the commercial threshold that we are with the company. If you look at the leading competitive products on the market today, they are focused on inflammation. Cyclosporin, as you see on the left-hand side up above, is the dominant product, and Restasis is the dominant medicine sold by Allergan. That has just gone off patent, and now generics are coming in on the marketplace. Most of these products that are on the market today are treating inflammation. There are no products in development or in phase 3 that are focused on our specific target biological process or target patient population. So the message here is that we have a unique product that no other company is developing at this point, and I think that when we come out to market, it'll just strengthen the commercial potential. In terms of sales potential, we conservatively estimate that there are 1.9 million postmenopausal women in Europe and in the US. If we apply relative pricing models to what we can achieve, including a 10% penetration rate in the US and EU, our commercial partner would garner about $500 million. At 20%, that's a blockbuster drug, $1 billion. So I want to just underscore here that we will, as our business model, take these products and this product through to completion of phase 2, and at that point we will seek a commercial partner to take over phase 3 development and commercialization. So we feel that the business opportunities are quite optimistic for the IntelliGel drug delivery system that can potentially lower the dose of active substance in the medicine. It can control the release over a period of time. It allows us to develop new products within glaucoma, bacterial conjunctivitis, age-related macular degeneration. And then we can out-license the technology to Big Pharma if they would like to improve existing drugs that are on the market or to develop new ones in terms of effectively delivering active substances to the front of the eye. This allows them to extend their existing products further in terms of cash flow and increasing profitability. This is a slide that I really like because what it shows is that there is such appeal for these types of medicines that we're developing, specifically the dry eye technology. These are all deals that have been done in the last 5 years within the dry eye space or drug delivery. And what you see is quite exciting. From Novartis, they did a deal in 2017 with Lubris. Shire did a deal with Parian for a total potential deal value of around $500 million. And Allergan has also done its share of in-licensing. So we have never seen the market so attractive for eye medicines, new eye medicines, and I can't say that we could ever find a period of time that we'd be better off. And so I think we've timed the market really well. So our idea now is to continue with value creation and to develop this unique treatment for dry eye disease with a known active substance. Again, we have a unique biological mechanism and a unique target patient population that we're focused on. We have clinical data that's demonstrating safety and efficacy. This is huge. Having two phase 2 trials already done that show safety and efficacy, it makes our work much easier. We can be faster to market at lower cost and lower risk compared to, say, other drug development projects within cancer, where you have perhaps an antibody that's never been tested before in humans. The risks involved with our project are low because of our known substance, the data that exists, and so forth. We had the recent launch of Shire's Xiidra last year, which confirms the regulatory pathway And what I mean by this is that the regulatory agencies like the US FDA and the EMA are they already have down pat what it is that we have to achieve. There's no discussion about what we need to do. We have a regulatory agencies that have accepted these types of programs. They have acknowledged the market need and are looking for supporting projects like ours. We will start phase 2 clinical trials at the beginning of this year, so very shortly. And in the middle of next year, we will have results to publish to the market. And we will see at that point an even more significant value inflection point, an increase in the value of the company. And we're currently in discussions with other pharmaceutical firms and big pharma, and we look forward to generating more results from that and informing the public about our successes. Thank you.
Yeah. Please sit down.
Vi kan ta det på svenska, det är ingen fara.
Ska vi försöka ta frågorna på engelska också? Så.
Absolut.
Avslöjar jag väl att jag inte kan facktermerna på engelska.
Det är lugnt.
Vi får lösa det. Okay. My first question is about your financial situation. When do you need more money?
Well, the company is in a situation where we will be looking to raise more money. We feel quite positive about the alternatives that are in front of us. We are in discussions with bankers at this point. I can't reveal anything because of its confidential nature, but I can tell you that we have solid avenues that we're working on currently.
Okay, we can. Let's see if here is any questions from the audience. Yes, varsågod. Okay, the question was about patents. You don't have any patents yourself.
No, we don't have any patents. We don't have any patents ourselves, but we have protection through the IntelliGel platform, which is novel. And we have quite long patent life on those patents. Those patents extend through 2031 and 37. So we have a good amount of time. We have a protection through the hydrogel technology. And then, as I said earlier, that we will be the first product that comes out on the market with this molecule, and this means that we will have data exclusivity in the US and the EU. And in the EU, we will have up to 10 to 11 years of exclusivity in each market, in the larger ones, and in the US 5 years. So we feel quite comfortable about our protection.
Is this hormone that you told us about, is this well known? I mean, this is not a secret.
It is not a secret, but it's not patent protected. And then, from the purposes of our discussions, we don't want to reveal it at this point. It will be revealed sooner or later.
Okay. But you're not aware of other companies using this?
No.
You're not. The question was, you're not aware of other companies using this.
No. No.
Okay. Any more question? Yes. The question was about if you use this at daily basis, can you use contact lenses at the same time? If I understand you right, yes?
Yeah. At this point, I mean, that's the idea. The ideal scenario would be, yes, that you could use it in the future. But to start out with, I think that we're going to be testing it in patients that are not using contact lenses. And that is in order to simplify the clinical study, to make sure that what we're seeing is not complicated in terms of the results, that they're not complicated by a possible outside force, such as a contact lens.
Okay, you told us you're going to start phase 2 studies rather soon. and the phase 2 study shall be ready in mid 2019.
Yes.
Yes, but when do you think you are ready for the market? You have still to go through phase 3 studies after phase 2. So.
Yeah, I think we're about at least 2.5 years from market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're already have already discussions with big pharma company and other companies for out licensing.
We are in discussions with the major players within ophthalmology, and they are aware of where we are in development, and we invite them to participate in the development of phase 3.
Okay. Can you tell us a little about the history of the company? Who stands behind the company, and when was it founded? By who was it founded?
Yeah. The technology was first discovered in the United States, in New York City, by Dr. Virginia Lucan, who worked at the Aborn Eye Institute. She looked at this specific substance and saw that it had very promising effect in helping postmenopausal women suffering from dry eye disease. She underwent a phase 1 and phase 2 trial. The idea was then taken over by Nascent Pharmaceuticals. That was based in California, and Nascent had a portfolio of 5 technologies in total, and ran into financial trouble in the middle of the 2000s, in this recession from 2007 to 2010. In 2010, 2011, I started discussions with the owners of Nascent and convinced them to sell me the project, this dry eye project, which had successfully completed phase 2B. And I felt, along with a couple of my other co-founders, that the market was, the regulatory market and the market in general here in Europe was much more receptive to this type of treatment. So we founded the company, and we found IntelliGel along the way, which was vital for us to create a critical mass in the company that could help us expand into other medicines and to diversify our potential future cash streams.
Okay. Any more questions from the audience? Maybe you said it in your presentation, but nu får jag nog ta ett svenskt ord här. Är detta ett receptläke? Kommer detta bli ett receptläkemedel, eller kommer det också att kunna finnas som receptfritt egenvårdsprodukt i framtiden?
Ja.
Du kan översätta.
Alltså, i början kommer det vara ett receptbelagt läkemedel, klart. Men jag tror att det finns ju stora möjligheter att när man väl bekräftar ut i marknaden att den är så pass säker att man kan byta då, alltså göra en ny produkt av det till en OTC eller icke-receptbelagt läkemedel.
Okej. Någon avslutande fråga? Vi kanske kan ta på svenska också om ni vill. Så här lite på slutet. Nej, då tror jag vi stannar där. Vi önskar dig lycka till framöver här. Tack så mycket för en intressant presentation.
Tack.